Now, I've got a question for you. Could you live without your car? The RAC Foundation says despite the expense, 8 out of 10 motorists admit they'd struggle if they had to say goodbye to their wheels.
But the use of trains, buses and bikes is on the increase and a new breed of traveller is emerging. In the final part of his mini-series on driving, Andy Bevan looks at the rise of the multimodal motorist.
Darren Koss and Cheryl Gill are travelling from their homes in Nottingham to work in Birmingham. But Darren isn't a taxi driver and Cheryl isn't his fare. They're part of a ride-sharing community which connects passengers wanting to travel with drivers going the same way. Users create a profile on a smartphone app so common interests can become conversation topics en route.
I went over to my auntie and uncle's in Leicestershire and just caught up with them, and it's really nice actually. I haven't seen them for a while.
Darren and Cheryl have become regular travelling companions, and 20 million others are now doing the same in 19 countries.
Drivers and passengers rate each other at the end of the journey. As a driver, you rate the overall experience. As a passenger, you also rate the overall experience, but you also anonymously rate the driving skills of your driver.
No pressure then. But the bottom line here is about saving money, with drivers and passengers sharing the cost of the journey.
It's not a money-making scheme, it's helping people out really, passengers like Cheryl and people that just want to get from A to B, longer distances and find it difficult and too expensive.
I think there is a stigma historically that we shouldn't get in strangers' cars that we don't know, but actually I think you can see all the reviews, you can see it's a very cost-effective option for lots of people.
Ditching the car doesn't have to mean disposing of it altogether. Shorter journeys can often be more cost-effective and comfortable by bus. Midlands-based National Express has recently introduced its Platinum fleet running between Birmingham and Coventry. There are now leather seats with more legroom, audio-visual stop reminders, and that modern-day crowd-pleaser, free Wi-Fi.
First time on it, on this bus, but I like it.
They're all right and they're better than the old ones.
It's up to date. I think everyone seems happy about it.
Arriva Midlands has done something very similar. Its Sapphire buses run on selected routes in Derby and Leicester. The company spent £45,000 on each bus, and it's aiming for an increase of 5 or 6% in passenger numbers. Bus operators are also working with local councils to upgrade routes, putting in more stops, increasing dedicated lanes and changing traffic light sequences to favour buses.
For example, this route, when we finish the work with the councils, will be up to 6 minutes quicker, which will make it comparable with the car, will obviously make it cheaper and much more hassle-free for people.
Getting off the road altogether is also an option. Since 1999, the West Midlands has had its own light rail system, the Midland Metro. The line between Birmingham and Wolverhampton cost £145 million and carries about 5 million passengers a year. Construction is now underway to bring the Metro into Birmingham city centre, with tracks linking Snow Hill station to the new New Street station. The cheapest way to get around, though, is still pedal power. Cycling is gaining popularity, and the old concerns about bike security are being addressed with the introduction at some Midlands train stations of these cycle hubs. They're secure and weather protected, with internal and external CCTV coverage and lighting, and there's 24-hour smart card access.
It's different to other cycle parking because it's got the swipe card access and it's got CCTV. But also on a wet day like this, you can be sure your bike's dry when you come and collect it at the end of the day.
And you can still cycle even if you don't own a bike. These huts called Brompton Docks are popping up in places like Birmingham and Stoke-on-Trent. An access code is sent as a text, allowing you to open up a locker and, perhaps with a little practice, simply unfold your instant transport and head off to your destination.
40% of journeys under 2 miles could be walked or cycled. For a lot of those journeys, cycling is going to be quicker. It's going to save you money. It's definitely going to help your health as well. So there are a whole raft of advantages to cycling.
Despite figures like that, by the end of 2014, there were 5.1 million cars on roads in the Midlands. That's one for every 2 people, and an increase of 6% in just 5 years. So can we really live with more and more cars? Or can we really live without them? The answer to that is still some considerable distance down the road. Andy Bevan, ITV News.
Cars are a lot of hassle. When they don't work, when they work they're brilliant, when they don't they're just, as I know.
I've heard someone's got some big repair costs.
I've got issues. Well listen, staying with motoring, head to our website to find out more about the Midlands man who says he's taking part in open auditions for Top Gear. ITV.com/central for more details on that.
Well,